So I guess you can't just take him down and hold him there, can you? Hey, what's up, fight nerds? This is your boy Gershon. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today we talk about UFC 263. Now, it just passed about a day ago. Had some really good, it was a really good main card, to be honest with you. And even the prelims and early prelims had some really good fights on it. So we're going to be focusing more on the main card, but there are a couple of honorable mentions that I'll say from the prelims that we should definitely talk about. The first would have to be that quick knockout that Terrence McKinney delivered to Matt Frevola. That was pretty crazy. I believe it was a left hand. And then he went to go celebrate top the cage and I think hurt his knee. I'm not sure if it was anything serious or just like, you know, he might have thought it was something messed up. Because I remember when he landed, you just saw him on the floor. I'm like, damn, like this is like another, what's this guy's name? Like Johnny Walker when he won and then freaking fell on the octagon floor on his shoulder to celebrate and then hurt it, you know? So I hope it's not one of those cases because that was his debut. Got a really cool knockout, and I hope he didn't get hurt, but pretty awesome and pretty impressive. Next prelim fight to talk about will be like Brad Riddell versus Drew Dober. That was very back and forth. Drew Dober definitely taking like the first round. The second round being, I would say, going towards Brad. And then at the end, Brad Riddell staggering Drew Dober and then even ending, delivering some shots while on top, which definitely cemented his victory, which was great. And then at the end, he also paid tribute to his fallen training partner from City Kickboxing, which was pretty sad when you actually hear and read up the story. And Izzy actually does this later on in his match as well, so we'll go more into that later. But yeah, those two matches are probably the standouts in the prelims. On to the main card. First fight, Jamahal Hill and Paul Craig in the light heavyweight division. Now, they'd been pretty chippy. If you get a chance to watch the Embedded series, and even before, they were going back and forth on Twitter, and then you saw them when they were in each other's face. It was pretty crazy during like the autograph signing part, which was pretty nuts. So I knew this was going to be fireworks. Thought it was going to be more stand up, maybe a knockout, but instead it wound up with Jamahal Hill getting his arm dislocated, even though we all thought it was broken. It was literally flopping around. The referee waiting forever to stop it, even with Paul Craig holding him in guard, looking up at the ref like, "Are you going to stop it?" and then delivering elbows while bringing him forward with the momentum, which was pretty nuts. His jiu-jitsu was great because he got Jamahal right in guard and just proceeded to go to work and twist that arm whatever way. It was ugly in like a good way though, right? But it was excellent jiu-jitsu and he cemented his place in light heavyweight division. He's definitely going to be a contender. Jamahal Hill, I'm glad it wasn't anything permanent, and I can't wait to see what he's doing because I believe he was 8-0 before this and like won no contest. So I think he's going to be a good prospect regardless. You just got to get back up on there and definitely work on that jiu-jitsu, right? So yeah, that was a pretty cool match. Next match was in the welterweight division with Demian Maia and Belal Muhammad. Now, Belal Muhammad is obviously just coming off of that eye poke match with Leon, and now he's fighting Demian Maia, and this is like Demian Maia's last fight on his contract. Demian Maia was pretty one-sided on this. He definitely was just trying to get that takedown over and over and over again, with obviously lackluster striking, which is not what he's known for. And Belal did a really good job keeping upright and obviously making sure that he gave him a little pitter-patter to keep him off. It was very good, a good showing for Belal, but obviously when you're fighting against someone who you already know what they're going to go for, I mean, it doesn't really tell me too much about Belal, except for the fact that he has really good takedown defense. That's really it, but I don't know. I'm not sure what this warrants for him in the future, and obviously Demian Maia, this is his last fight, and even Dana after was saying, you know, he thinks like, you know, that's it. He's over 40 years old, and he's done a lot in the UFC, and it's probably time to call it quits. And he even said Demian Maia said he wants to maybe fight Nate in like a jiu-jitsu thing, you know, and maybe that'll be UFC or outside of it. Whatever happens, that's cool. I think he's done enough to, you know, to cement his legacy. Belal, I don't know where else to go from there. Somebody maybe in the top 10 or whatever. We'll see. I mean, I think Leon in his last fight was definitely getting the better of him, so I know he keeps on holding it and saying like, you know, Leon, you know, I'm not impressed by whatever. I don't know. Give him another match and let's just see if he's worth it, right? So yeah, that's really it for Demian Maia versus Belal Muhammad. First of the trifecta of really great matches on the main card, we have Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. Now, I'm sure a lot of people who are Nate Diaz fans were like, yeah, this is going to go his way. And a lot of people who know how technically skilled Leon is know that he was going to bring quite a bit to Nate. And he did. The first 4 rounds were very one-sided. Really, really one-sided. Leon was doing his thing. But in the 5th round, literally in the last minute, he got caught with that Stockton slap in a left right through the guard. And he stumbled him. And for a whole minute, maybe a little more than that, he had to survive. Which is, I guess, is kind of a skill in itself. But it's crazy how Nate almost turned it around. A lot of people that just, reaffirm their love for Nate. But I hope people don't forget that Leon Edwards still was whipping his ass for four rounds. Like, he did what he had to do. And, he took these fights. Should he get a title shot afterwards? I don't know. I mean, I think Colby still is a fight to make with Usman because Colby's the one that gave him the challenge as Usman's been a champion. So I think Leon should still get the title shot after Colby, though. Colby's got to go first. He has to. Usman can't run around him because Colby's the one that gave him the biggest challenge. He didn't run over Colby. That's a narrative that it's just not true. He's got to do it and then go after Leon. And then that'll be cool. Then he can really say he's running rings around the division. But yeah, I don't think he should get an immediate title shot, but he should get it after Colby if he's going to wait around for that at all. And as for Nate, he can do whatever money fight. He could fight Conor. If Conor loses to this, he could fight Jorge Masvidal if they want to do that again, because I don't know if Jorge's ever going to fight Colby, whatever. So they can just go for those type of money fights, those fun fights, and that could be it. So yeah, that's what I think about Nate and Leon Edwards. Now for Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno for the flyweight championship. Now this was actually pretty awesome. Obviously their last fight they had was pure fireworks, and that was done on short notice. Now this fight, obviously they've got like 6 months to train. Figueiredo's mad because Brandon Moreno apparently was like, yo, like, you're not really sick, and he took it to heart, even showed them at the press conference. And Brandon Moreno's just sitting there collecting Legos, being jovial and all that. You can watch him better than you see it. And he was like the hometown hero there. Everybody really loved him. Arizona obviously has a huge Mexican population, and he, was gonna be, the first Mexican UFC flyweight champion, or just champion in UFC, Mexican born. And he did it. He actually dominated, because a lot of people thought that Deiveson was just going to knock him out, but it wasn't. What it was Brandon Moreno just really overwhelmed him, and then got the submission at the end. And you saw at the end it was great because he didn't even he had to sink in for a little bit. It was really cool to see, and it's cool how humble he is and how great he is, even with the other fighters. Like, I want to take a picture with him, and he's part of the Spanish announce team. It was really cool to see what happened, and it was awesome to see him get it, see him with his family. Obviously, he's probably gonna defend us against ASKAROV next, and that should be interesting. I hope he has a nice, lengthy reign, because he has a really good style, and I hope he brings more eyes, not just to the sport from the Mexican side, but just to the flyweight division, because that flyweight division is really stacked. I think he probably should fight Brandon ROYVAL again, too. And then you have Kai Car France and all these other people in there. So yeah, I think this is really cool. So congrats to Brandon Moreno, of course. Now on to the main event, Israel Adesanya and MARVIN VETTORI for the middleweight championship. Now obviously this match has happened before. It was actually pretty damn close. The first 2 rounds you can definitely say were Izzy's, but the 3rd round, Marvin definitely put him on his back. I actually got 2 takedowns in that one, which is what led to Marvin saying, oh yeah, I won and whatever like that. And obviously this was Izzy like early in his UFC career. Definitely had to get used to some of like the awkward mix-up between like the striking that you would see more in mixed martial arts, not necessarily kickboxing, where you have to be wary of a takedown. Like you can see, like it was definitely a different Israel Adesanya than you see now. Now, what's also good is that between then and now, Marvin VETTORI has also improved. Like, he's definitely gotten sharper when it comes to his boxing. But in terms of overall striking acumen, there was definitely a huge gap there. And that showed here. Now, the biggest thing that everyone was always trying to take away from this was, can Izzy stay standing upright? Because they took what happened with Jan, and people were like, oh, all we have to do is take him down. Mind you, the context of that fight is that Jan, it wasn't just that he took him down. He was 25 pounds heavier than him. And it wasn't like he was doing anything super technical down there. He was just holding him down. And then at the end of it, he was about to beat his brains in. Like, let's just be, Izzy was trying to survive for that one. But it's a different fight, different person, right? If anything, in the middleweight division, if there was anyone that could have really given him that crazy wrestling challenge would have been Yoel. But Yoel just didn't do it. He just decided to just, you know, stand there like a statue instead of just shooting over and over again. You know, an Olympic wrestler, he has the pedigree. That's why I was worried in that fight, because I'm thinking like, damn, Yoel, you know, if he decides to just lean on that, he could have a real problem. But he didn't. And Marvin, as good as he is when it comes to grappling, and he has like that brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I knew he was going to be goaded into standing up a little more, which he did. Took tons of leg kicks, too many leg kicks, didn't check any of them, and then obviously it takes away some of the shooting power. He also, the way he is, he uses a lot of brute strength to like force positions. So he's not really technique. He's all about like kind of like forcing certain things. And as soon as he got Israel in the cage, that was his way to try and take him down. The problem is that that's also the way that Israel gets up, is on a cage. So obviously he could have used more takedowns from the middle, like just from like in an open cage where like Israel can't use the cage to get up, and which he kind of did in the beginning of round 3, but Israel still wound up getting to the cage. And also when he had that rear naked choke, which Izzy gave him his back, I really wish he wouldn't do that, because he does make weird mistakes sometimes on the ground. He wound up reversing the position. Actually, he did this twice. He reversed the position twice on Marvin. And I think that absolutely took a huge hit in Marvin Vettori's, it took a huge hit in his confidence, right? That was weird, I don't know how I said that. But as soon as he realized that he couldn't win on the ground, he was like, shoot, I know I'm not winning standing up. So your most advantageous part was not really an advantage at all. And you know standing up is going to be a problem. And he was getting pieced up standing up. He was getting hit too many times in the leg to the point where his front leg was just giving out. It was crazy. And it shows that Israel Adesanya just keeps on evolving and evolving. And you can tell, because even when you saw like his training, it was very wrestling centric, which it should be, because you know you got to keep your striking skills sharp, because that's his bread and butter. But you know people are going to be coming in this way. And if you're a good martial artist, you're constantly trying to fill those gaps that you know people are going to be coming for. And honestly, in the middleweight division, his takedown defense has always been pretty good, right? But it's got to get better, because you know people are going to be coming for it, and you're going to be facing better and better grapplers. I always thought Jack Hermansson would be a person to do that too, to keep on trying to challenge him with that. But it's gonna be crazy to see what happens, because obviously Israel won this via decision, 50-45. There's no doubt, even though Marvin Vettori was still talking about he won. Hey, it is what it is. You gotta if you're not gonna believe in yourself, who will, right? So obviously Israel Adesanya is gonna be going with Robert Whittaker now. He's gonna be fighting him, and obviously Robert Whittaker is looking like he's improving, but I'm just not sure if he has. I think Israel's gonna have his number again, especially if he tries to come in as aggressive. Obviously, he's been going good with the grappling. Like, he out-grappled Kelvin Gastelum, and he's been like training back with the gi again. Like, he's found his love for the sport, which is pretty cool. Back again. I still think like some people just have people's number. I think that's what's gonna happen with Israel again. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen in the middleweight division. Like, I'm not sure who is gonna fight him now. That's really gonna take it away from him. Like, I feel like he might go right back up to 205 again. That'd be weird, because those guys are big, and those guys still got that weight advantage. I don't know who else is gonna challenge him as of right now, unless somebody new just comes up there. Because Kevin Holland's too low to do that. I'm not gonna be able to see Kelvin Gastelum and Adesanya too, because he hasn't been winning. Darren Till needs to win. Yeah, I think Marvin Vettori, for him though, I think a good fight would be between him and Costa. That'd be like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but it'd be entertaining for us at the very least. All right, so yeah, I don't know who'd be a good challenger for him, right? I don't know, unless KAMARU or USMAN decides to come down there. But he said he would never fight Israel, so Israel would have to lose the championship for KAMARU to come down. So whatever, just speculating. But yeah, I'm glad he won. That's who I wanted to win, and I wanted him to keep on showing that growth level. He's just gonna keep on getting better. So yeah, let me know. Did everybody that you wanted to win, did they win? What you think about the event? What you think about the fights? Let's talk about it below. Keep on watching these fights, and I'm gonna watch this event over. And don't forget to enter the nerd.